Welcome everyone. This is Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon and I will be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about how to manifest things in your life. Because if we think about manifestation, it just means I'm going to be thinking about something and it just comes into my life. But it's not as easy as just thinking about it. I know sometimes people can get into the mindset of I'm going to manifest good things. I'm going to give my brain good things, and it doesn't happen. And then eventually the subconscious mind just knows this and it says, well, what's the point? What's the point of thinking this way? What's the point of dreaming? What's the point of trying to get something that is unattainable? What is unattainable in life? Because we can attain things. Some things might be more difficult, but a lot of people would rather just be lazy. Lazy people or losers want the results, but they're not willing to put in the work. And the process of manifestation requires work. It's not something that, I'm going to manifest this in my life and I'm going to put good intentions into this or toward this, and then all of a sudden things come your way. It doesn't work like magic. It's not a fantasy world. Manifestation is the process of mindset and understanding that you have capabilities and then you allowing your capabilities to come through with action. But there is some part where we are thinking about the good things and the aspect of where we want to be. That might be the first step. But then how do we get there? That is the true question. That's the $1 million question. How do we get to the life that we dream of? Well, today we're going to be talking about that in my most recent blog. And this one is going to be a tune-up series. So we're going to get you right on track to where you want to be to manifest the life that you want. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share the video and or audio to help build a community of like-minded individuals. Today, we're going to be talking about the factors for manifestation. Because if we know about manifestation is just bringing your ideas and your goals and giving them intentions and to get your thoughts and your beliefs and then to get the results that you're looking for and you're vying for. It's not as easy as just thinking about it. We need a critical component, which is action. You can think all day long about something. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. You can run around in circles all day long. It doesn't mean you're going to make movement toward your goal, unless your goal is maybe fitness. If you want success in your life, and I'm talking about this success where it's like maybe financial freedom, things like that, running around a circle is not going to help you, typically. If you find that you are giving yourself something that's busy work or that's keeping you preoccupied from getting to your goal, you need to do some self-reflection and realize what you're doing is not beneficial. Some people can figure it out for themselves. Some people need a coach. This is where having a coach, having a mentor, having a guide is going to be there right in front of center saying, hey, listen, I know you want this in your life. What are the greatest obstacles that you have to overcome? And to be honest, the greatest obstacles that people have to overcome are themselves. So we decided to create this blog, The Factors for Manifestation, TOS Part 48. So we're getting close to 50. I said, I need to make this as simple as possible. And I had to create some steps for people to follow. These steps are going to help you understand the process to manifest things in your life. And then the blog is going to be giving you the guide to how to manifest things in your life. But I'm going to just tell you those 3 things right now, and then we're going to begin and break them down. So the steps to manifestation are number 1, clarity and visualization, 2, belief and trust, and 3, action and gratitude. These 3 steps are going to help us begin to manifest more in our life. But how do we do that? Let's find out. As I was saying, the blog is going to give us a guidepost, and the guideposts are going to be the 3 steps that I just mentioned, and we're going to be breaking them down right now because number 1 is going to be clarity and visualization. People are great at visualization. They think about the car, they think about the house, they think about all the luxuries that they can have. But one aspect to step 1 that people skip is understanding why they want it, the clarity. Why do you want that big house? Why do you want this fast car? Things like that. Because I can almost guarantee you get the house, you get the car, and eventually it just becomes another box, right? A car becomes another vehicle. It's just another thing. Things that create happiness or things that create long-lasting, beneficial things in your life are not so much of things that we can purchase because of a materialistic ideal. Not saying that things don't make us happy, but the longevity of things that make us happy are typically not things that we purchase. So we're really good at visualizing about getting material things, winning the lotto, right? Oh, my whole life is going to change. Now we look at the idea of luck and probability. I wrote a blog on that. Definitely read that. Have a podcast episode on it. Listen to that. When we give ourselves this clarity and this visualization, we have to understand, well, what are we trying to manifest? Are we trying to manifest wealth? Are we trying to manifest happiness? It's a difference. Some people think that wealth equals happiness or that happiness equals wealth. Which person are you? You can be in the middle, sort of, but typically you're going to sway one way or the other. I have found happiness is greater than wealth. That is what I found. Because from working with people who are wealthy, who have, plenty of dollars in the bank, they have so many problems, it seems like. And I just look, I'm like, if I had all that money, would I still have those problems? And money can cause problems because now we're trying to hold on to that money like a relationship. Oh, I don't want to lose this person, so I'm going to hold on to them. And that's the opposite of what you should be doing. If you hold on to your money, you're going to lose it through inflation and taxes or whatever. But if you say, okay, I'm going to let my money go, I'm going to let my money work for me, your money's going to do you good. And if you allow in your relationships, I'm going to allow the people around me to be good and flourish and be happy. That right there creates more prosperity in that environment. So when we become clear on what we want and why we want it, that right there is going to help us understand, is what I'm visualizing good? Is it beneficial for me? Does it help me in some area or every area of my life? You might find that having money can help you take care of your family. It might be that you're able to get the house that you always wanted. You can feel safe because you can move into a safer neighborhood. Not saying money can't do those wonderful things. Money is a tool, but it's not a destination. Okay, I want people to understand that money is a tool. It's not a destination. So we use a tool to get to the destination, but we have to be clear so our body knows, our mind knows, this is something that we want. How do we get it? Then we get into step 2. Step 2 and step 3, I was curious about because I wanted to put step 2 for step 3, but I realized that I have a lot of articles that explain it the way that I typically like to explain it, meaning we need to have action and then have belief. But I was just recently thinking that people typically don't do things unless they have some type of belief. For example, if someone is no good, and this is for the people who have limiting beliefs, if they're not good at something, they might not even try. Oh, I'm not good at it. Karaoke is a great example. If you are not a good singer or good singer, you won't do karaoke because you don't believe that you're a good singer. You don't trust that you're a good singer. So you won't take action. You won't go up to the DJ and say, hey, I want to do some Tennessee whiskey, E minor, please. That doesn't happen. You don't take the action. Confidence doesn't come first. Confidence comes after. So we have to have belief. Now, I like to do it both ways because depending on the person, it's just going to depend on the person, the client, where if belief needs to be third or if action and gratitude need to be second. I would even separate gratitude to number 4 if you decide to make action number 2. That's just if you needed to adjust this article a little bit. So looking at number 2, belief and trust, I always say, I've said it on the podcast many times before, and I'll keep on saying it for the whole entire duration of the podcast and the extent of me coaching. We need to have belief. We need to trust in ourselves. It can be very challenging for people to believe and trust in themselves if they have limiting beliefs. We need to get out of those limiting beliefs and then understand that we have power, we have potential, we have something to offer, we have something to bring to the table. Belief is one of those things where you only need one one person to believe in you. It doesn't have to be you. It could be anyone else in the world, as long as you have one person to believe in you. And at that point, you're going to make some great strides in your life. And I'm going to give an example of why you can have one person believe in you. For some time in college, I was a swim instructor. I would get kids who would come in the water. Some had a fear of water, of swimming, and then some didn't. Some were just like, cool, I want to learn how to swim. When you are in the water with a kid, you have to understand that there is an aspect of trust that has to be present with the instructor at all times. The moment you lose trust with one of your students, it becomes exponentially more difficult to teach them how to swim. And the reason why I was extremely effective at coaching and swimming is because I never lose the trust. The moment you lose the trust is the moment you lose the belief, or the aspect of them believing in you. So I built the trust and I never broke it. For example, I might be swimming with them, or I might be going around the pool with them, and they say, don't let me go. I say, okay, I'm not going to let you go. Now, of course, you can't hold me for the whole entire swim lesson and expect to learn how to swim. I have to let you go at some point. Now, how I do it and how I present to them is, all right, I'm not going to let you go. And then we do a lap around the pool. And then I say, this time we're going to go around the pool and you're only going to have one of my hands. You don't need both of them. You're strong, right? If you give them one hand instead of two hands, you are allowing them to now work. They have to learn buoyancy. And if they don't learn buoyancy, they're going to be exerting themselves with more kicks and more arms and stuff like that to stay afloat. If they learn how to be calm in the water and they allow the water to hold them up, going around the pool is going to be very easy for them. However, sometimes if they're afraid, then guess what? They're not going to be that buoyant student. They're going to be that rock that's trying to sink, and they have to keep themselves afloat. That's a difficult area to be in. Now, we go around the pool again. All right, this time I'm going to give you 2 fingers. I give them 1 finger on each hand or something like that. And then I explain to their subconscious mind. Of course, they're not knowing I'm doing this. I say, remember we did our first lap around the pool? I gave you 2 hands. They say, yeah. I say, you remember a second time where I gave you 1 hand? They said, yeah. I said, you remember a third time when we went around the pool, I gave you 2 fingers? Yeah. Every single time, I'm giving you less fingers. First time I gave you 10, and then we do math. It's like, again, I'm a teacher. So I always did singing, I did math. I touched at every educational aspect with them when I was helping them learn how to swim, and just education process, right? And coaching. I said, remember the first time you had 10 fingers? So we had 2 hands and we would count together 10 fingers. So 10 minus 5 is 5, right? So we have 5 fingers left. And then we'll do 5 minus 3, and then they have 2 fingers left, right? We would do all of that. These kids are like 3, 4, 5 years old. They're learning math. I'm hitting every bit of their brain. They're like, boom, boom, boom. Left, right, boom, boom, boom. Where are they? They have to be present for that. It's education. So now it's only a matter of fact of, well, remember I said I didn't let you go? Yeah. Did I let you go? No, I didn't let you go, right? So they learned that they can trust me. It's a very quick process. Sometimes it can take a little longer than that. It can take weeks sometimes. It can take months. But sometimes you can just be that person that says, I said what I said, and I stayed true to my word. You can trust me. Nothing's going to happen to you. Then at that point, they start believing in me. Eventually, something's going to happen. I'm going to give them a task. I'm going to say, I want you to swim across the pool. They say, are you crazy? I can't do that. Well, I know you can. So then we start a quarter of the pool. Then we go to half of the pool. Then we're at 75% of the pool. And then I make them swim all the way across the pool. They learn, oh, I can believe in myself too. The belief wasn't necessarily there in the beginning when I said swim across the pool. I say, all right, swim across the pool. They don't just go, okay, not a problem. All right, Mr. Mike. All right, Coach Mike. They didn't say that. They said, are you crazy? I can't do that. Go, that's scary. That's too much. That's too far. They gave me every excuse in the book to why they couldn't do it. But they trusted me. So they believed in me. And I believed in them. I never lost that belief. So the fact that I believed in them as a coach, as a teacher, they didn't have that belief in the beginning, but they started to believe in themselves. And then they started to get the results. They made progress, but they had to have that belief, because their idea to be jumping in the deep end and swimming with the big kids and swimming across the pool might have been an idea they had. It was definitely an idea that their parents had for them. That's why they go into the swim school, to teach their kids how to swim, maybe to have fun too, exercise. When we manifest something in our life, we need trust in ourselves, or we need trust in a person, and we need to have belief in ourselves, or we need to have someone believe in us. Because then we get into the final step. And the final step is going to be action and gratitude. We can actually separate these two, because the action we do is going to be the predominant factor for us getting to where we want to be, the catalyst per se of where we want to be. So if I want to be a good swimmer, if I want to be a successful business person, if I want to be in a happy marriage, what do I need to do? And the answer is, what type of actions do I need to produce to get the results that I'm looking for? We have to have a plan in order to know what we want. That's why it's important to visualize and clarify. During that process, you're creating a plan, a flow chart, whatever you're creating. It might not even be written out, but you have an idea for what you want to do. And then that idea, you ask yourself at a subconscious level always, but maybe even at a conscious level to be even more powerful, to say, you know what? I believe I can get what I'm thinking about. For the majority of people who say, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to get $1 million, they're never going to reach it. And it's not that they can't. It's just that they don't believe and they don't trust in themselves enough. So they will, again, gamble, bet on luck, when they could be using that money, utilizing that money to help build their income to become wealthy. All the money that they spend on casinos, lotto tickets, that can be put into an investment portfolio, creating assets that are going to bring in cash flow for your life. But we want the quick fix. We want the quick out. We want to avoid action. But that's the key. That's what we need. We need to have good action. So that action right there is just going to help us say, well, all right, I know what I want. I can see what I want. I believe I can get it. These are the actions. These are the steps in order for me to get to my goal. We have to be grateful that we have that opportunity, because not everyone does. And this is why I mixed it in with action and I didn't give gratitude their own separate part. It's because if we can appreciate what we're doing, we are not going to question as easily what we're doing. For example, going to the gym is very challenging, especially if you're out of shape and it's in the beginning of you working out. You're going to be tired, you're going to be sweaty, you're going to be uncomfortable, maybe not confident. You have a lot of things working against you from being a gym goer, being in shape. So we can use gratitude. Yes, because we can have the goal of the perfect body for ourselves that we envision for ourselves. We can believe that we can get it. We can trust our trainer. We can trust ourselves with the process. We can have the action of going to the gym. But what stops people from going to the gym, as they say, on New Year's, right? I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week or 4 times a week or 5 times a week. Most people allow their circumstance to come in and say, you know what? I don't have time to go to the gym. The issue is, it's not about our circumstance. It's about our mindset. So our mindset at that point is, this is an optional thing. So we treat it as an optional thing. We can keep it or we can get rid of it. Now, if we treat it as a gratitude aspect, now it becomes one of those things as, I'm committed to this. And I'm going to explain that a little bit deeper. When you are grateful that you can do something, you're going to say, whoa, I didn't know I had that privilege. Because we have many privileges here in America, maybe where you are in the world, that you might not understand that you have. And I'm not even talking about race. I'm not talking about race privilege. I'm talking about just a privilege you have right now. We have the privilege for free speech here in America. We have the privilege to work where we want, to start our own businesses, to be the people that we are inclined to be, the people we visualize ourselves to be. So we're grateful for that. There are people in this world who can't do what we want to do or what we will do because of their circumstance. That right there can be enough to push us into action. Now, there's also another aspect that there's going to be people who are in a situation where they can't do exactly what we can do. Sometimes there's going to be people like amputees who lose a leg or they lose an arm or something along those lines. Those limits that they were given from their surgery is only mental. I can't tell you how many men and women with no legs have ran marathons. I can't tell you how many lifters have lifted with just one arm. This right there is a mindset. Yet, when we see these people do it with the tools and the resources at their disposal, we go, I have more than them and I'm doing less than them. I should appreciate what I have and then begin to take action. So we become even more grateful for the things we have. Thanksgiving is a wonderful example of this. We typically don't understand how good we have it until we have a moment of prayer, a moment of silence, a moment of gratitude. So we're sitting around the family that we see every single day. We're sitting around the table with all the food that was cooked and prepared and purchased. And we find that we're extremely fortunate. We don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm extremely blessed. I'm extremely fortunate that I have another day. Some people do, right? But what percent of people is that? 15, 20% maybe? And that's being generous. Most people wake up, they hit the snooze button, they're just thinking about work. They're just thinking about what they have to do that day, or they're thinking about what type of pleasures await them. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue is not about what we have in our mind for our future. The issue is, can we see what we have in our life and the opportunities that we have and the opportunities that we can take? Because they're abundant. So when we get into this idea of manifestation, we can create anything and everything in our life. The issue doesn't come with the idea. The issue comes with how we believe in that idea. Is that idea good for us? Or is that idea what we truly want? Because sometimes we can get a belief that someone else is. And when that happens, most people are just kind of going in with a half heart. I want to have a half heart about this. Yes, I would like this in my life, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to give every bit of myself for that life. Sometimes people are going to, again, remain active, be strong, and they're going to push for more in their life. But a lot of people are just going to remain complacent and accept comfort in their circumstance. There's nothing wrong with, staying in your comfort zone. But for the people who want more in their life, they manifest that idea. They manifest that good intention within them. And then they begin to take action. So this blog, Tune Up Series Part 48, The Factors for Manifestation, we're talking about the steps that a person needs in order to manifest something in their life. The steps are going to be, again, number 1, clarity and visualization. 2, belief and trust. 3, action and gratitude. In this blog, we do go down and we do go deep and we make sure you understand what each of these areas are in a concise manner. We're understanding our why here, right? Our why is important. If we don't have a strong why, we can't be clear and we can't properly visualize what we truly want. Because if we're not clear and we just visualize, it might be someone else's vision. Then we get down to step 2, belief and trust. We want to make sure that we are giving ourselves the belief, we're trusting in ourselves, and it's not coming from a toxic type of relationship. Because people can believe in you, people can trust in you, and you can break that belief and you can break that trust. But it's not so much about breaking it and then understanding that it's broken. We can always recover if someone believes in us and we don't show up. We can always fix unbroken trust. And I talk about that in this section. And then here, our final step, action and gratitude. We're talking about, again, our purpose for our actions and then appreciating that we have that power to create those actions. So in closing, we have the opportunity, we have the potential we have everything we need right now in order to be successful. Sometimes we have to dig a little bit deeper. Sometimes we have to uncover some of the hardships or some of the obstacles and limiting beliefs we gave ourselves. But once we do that, then we're going to become more clear. And I want people to understand that tune-up series are typically for people who have strong mindsets. Because if you have a weak mindset, you're probably going to have a hard time being clear in what you want. Because if you're visualizing something good in your life, cool. You might half-heartedly believe in yourself. You might trust yourself, right? You have to trust yourself every single day, but do you believe in yourself truly, truly believe in yourself? Believe that you can get it. Believe that there is an opportunity. Most people have scarcity mindsets. So yes, you might think it's possible, but then you say, it's not enough. I don't really deserve this, right? There's people who are better than me. The belief aspect is going to suffer if you don't have a strong, powerful mindset. And then the last part, the accountability is going to be there. The action and the gratitude. Those things are going to be forefront in how we think and what we do. And if you're going to take action, sometimes people are going to get stuck in that action part. And some people are going to be taking the wrong actions. And that is why it's even more important to get a coach that is going to be making sure that you're doing the appropriate actions rather than just any action. Don't mistake movement for progress in your life. Don't mistake the things that the world has told you you need as being grateful. Oh, I'm grateful that I'm able to be on my phone and to have my social media accounts. You don't need that. Yes, you can be grateful that you have technology in your life, but there's a lot of things that you don't need. If you went camping for a week and you didn't have your phone and you did a tech cleanse, you're going to find that you can live with a lot less than what you are living right now. I'm not saying that you should live in a cabin in the woods and not have a lavish lifestyle. You can have that, but understand that where we come from, it doesn't have to be from a place of superior abundance living in the top 1% of the world. Because if we can have a 1% mindset, then we are already winning. We are already wealthy and abundant. And the things that we have for ourselves and the things that we're working toward are going to bring us so much more than what any material possession will do for us. So I encourage people, read this blog, check out how to manifest good things in their life, and then begin the action today. If you need a coach, we're always available to help out anyone who's looking to make some advancements in their life. It doesn't have to be rocket science. What we do is we help people get from where they are to where they want to be. And manifestation is literally understanding where you are to where you want to be. The process is simple, but not everyone is going to take the process. Will you take that journey? Will you decide to undergo that process and that fulfillment of manifesting some goodness into your life today? My name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me, coachinginsession@gmail.com, and I will see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.